Alright, here we go. Putting the engine in. I am excited. Look how easy it is. Boom. It's in. I'm going to have some spring washers on there and a plain washer. Get that started. Looks cool in there. It's awesome seeing it come together, you know, when you visualize it in your head, send it all for paint, and then it comes back. You've got something that looks like this. It's pretty satisfying. I'm just leaving these bolts finger tight under here. We'll be sliding the engine forward and back to set the chain tension later. See how that slides on slots? Now there's one little thing I've forgotten. There is 2 threads in there that need to be tapped out. I'm going to use this little tap on a chuck, if it's on a 1/4 inch ratchet, just to get in there. Bring you guys in for a closer look so you can see what I'm doing there. These are the 2 jack-end threads. They'll have M8 fasteners in them, and they'll be used to finally adjust the chain tension. So they push on the back of the motor there, and let you just tweak it forward evenly. Keep it straight by adjusting both of them the same amount. Obviously these just have a bit of powder coat in the threads, hence why I'm having to tap them out. Cool. Now, there's our 2 jack-in bolts. Go ahead and pop those in. All right, look at that. That is cool. Green machine. Man, this thing is classy. It's a 10 horsepower rotary engine. Honda Z50 wheels. You see the custom chrome disc on there. Billet spacer in there that I made up. Chrome plated custom sprocket. thing is cool. I think what I'll do now is pop that exhaust on and get a real feel for how it's going to look, because that exhaust is so cool. Check this thing out. I'll just sit it on there for now. I've got to make up an exhaust gasket. I'll show you how we do that later. I just really want to see how this looks. This picks up on the seat bolts under here. Ooh-wee. Man, that is flash. The guys at HPC Coatings do an awesome job on these. It's a ceramic powder coat. It's called Hypercoat Extreme, and it's a very, very high temperature rating on it. Man, this bike is flash. Look at that. That exhaust, if I don't mind saying so myself, is a work of art. It is definitely my favourite yet. I used a laser level to make sure that that was spot on the centre and dead straight. Man, this thing is bad. Alright. Hey guys, just a little update on the bike. I'm out here running the chains and jack shaft assembly. Everything's looking good. I've given it a lube up with this CRC Tack 2. It's a nice tacky chain grease, and it's done a nice job of getting this thing running nice and smooth. I'm real happy with how this is looking, so I'm ready to move on. I'm going to put the guard on. And you can see the engine's all sitting in there now. The exhaust is just still loose, so I'll be making up a little exhaust gasket, chuck that in, get it all bolted up. And we've got our little foot pegs, of course, which we can mount. These have a M10 bolt retaining them, fold up when not in use. They're a Harley Davidson peg. Cool, so let's get into it. Starting to take shape now, guys, with that guarding on there, and I've got the little kickstand on there, working nicely. This thing's really starting to fill out now and look pretty tough. I've got those fold down foot pegs on there. Those have a nice, smooth but firm kind of action, so they're going to stay up, stay put. Yeah, a little chrome sprocket on there, a little scorpion. This is the Hustler Scorpion. So in here I've got the stainless steel band clamps or hose clamps hanging there ready to fit and install this tank now. I fabricated this from aluminium tube or pipe, and the end caps are TIG welded on, a little filler cap there, nice little filter tap. about 2 litres. Should go for a good couple of hours on that. So I'm going to go ahead and fit that in there, do the band clamps up. We'll go from there. I use a little 7mm socket on a screwdriver handle for the band clamps. I find that's the most positive way to drive them. Screwdrivers and stuff just seem to slip off. Carefully, carefully. Thought I'd be able to slip this in with the band clamps already engaged in the screws, but I'm just going to have to loosen that off a bit. This one side snugged up. Powder coating is actually really slippery stuff. It's got a real low coefficient of friction, I reckon. I notice when I'm doing things up like the engine, until you've got it real tight, you can actually shift it around quite easy, which can be a little bit annoying sometimes, but other times it's actually quite useful. Working out where I want that band clamp screw to sit. Hopefully as out of sight as possible because they're a bit ugly. We really just want to see that nice stainless steel band. Just need the tank to shimmy towards me a little bit. It's trying to stay over that way a bit. Struggling for clearance on this side with the filler hitting the frame. I knew it was going to be a tight fit. That's it there. I always suggest getting high quality hose clamps because you can actually do them up nice and tight without them stripping. Cheap ones always skid and strip. Yeah, that's nice. The best thing about this setup with the tank there like that, and I'll bring you in close for a look, is that we can actually get the tap nice and close to the carburetor, which means we only have a short fuel tube. Nothing worse than a big long fuel hose. I think fuel hoses look pretty ugly. there we can see a little fuel tap. When our carby's sitting in there. Nice snug little fit. You can see the throttle cable just has clearance there. The bowl just clears on the bracket down there. The fuel tube's just nice and short there. Take a look at the carburetor setup. This is a 22mm unit and got a built-in choke, throttle connection at the top, and this is one of my 3D printed aluminium intake manifolds, which goes from the square port on the Sachs Rotary to the round 22mm, and as you can see, the perfect bolt up for these carburetors. Flange shape, spot on. So these, along with the carburetors, are available on my website under specialised parts. You'll find that under menu, specialised parts, up the top of the website there. Comes with a laser cut, nice thick gasket, perfect shape. So this will make your life easy if you're building one of these at home. And we mount this to the engine with two M6x20 hex bolts, along with spring washers. All the fasteners are included in the kit if you are ordering from me. A little bit tight in there for the hands, but get in there. I prefer to use hex bolts because they are easy to get to with spanners for installation and removal. This particular bike is one of the tighter ones that I've done, access wise. See in there, I've got a whole heap of room. Underneath for that other one. I think these manifolds are one of the coolest things that I do. They just fit so good, they look so good, and they perform so well. I've always been so satisfied with how these things run. They're just so smooth through the whole rev range. And when you've got a nice port matched manifold like that, it just really complements the whole package. It's good. You can go with that. That's looking pretty good. Just got enough room in there. Oh. See the choke in there? I'll just put the air filter on there now, which will just clear the foot peg. And we can sign that off. Put the throttle cable up, of course, and a bit of fuel hose. Alright, so fuel hose. We've got this stuff here which has a nice clear tracer in it, so it's mostly black with a clear tracer, and that lets you just see the fuel passing through. As you can see, we're a nice short length, which is great. It's nice. Put a couple of little spring clips on there because as fuel hose hardens, it does sometimes get a little loose. These spring clips help avoid that. Give that a little push. There we go. And, oh, another one for the carburetor. These are a real tight fit, but they just fit. That's it. That's the fuel system hooked up. Looks cool. Now I've just got a air filter to go on. Be running a pod filter on this. Stainless steel. Nice and clean. Matches the other silver parts on the bike. Right there. Right, that's the air filter. Starting to take shape now there. That looks awesome. I'm just making the exhaust gaskets. That's one of the flanges for the exhaust. And this one that I've trimmed around. So I use the flange as a guideline while I'm trimming around with my tin snips. Gasket material is a laminated product. It's got a thin like sliver of steel in there just to keep it together. And the rest of it's like a graphite compound. I'm just going to make a few up, so I'll show you guys how I do it. It's probably one of the more difficult things to do, to be honest. Most things on the bikes are very textbook kind of engineering, but this is a little different, and everyone has different techniques for making stuff like this, and if I had more time I'd just get these water jet cut, but it's not always that easy. So I clamp the flange onto the gasket material. First up, this little 1-inch G-clamp. And that just keeps it snug against the flange while I trim around. Just trim that one off. And reposition the clamp. Do the last little bit. And it comes out pretty neat. I'm always quite happy with that part of it. The real trick is doing the holes, and I've got a good little tip for that, which I'll show you soon. I'll just cut out a few more of those.
King of the road, trailer for sailoring. Man, trailer for sailoring. Ain't got no cigarettes, but trailer for sailoring. Give, man, me, don't pay no.
With all my pieces cut on the outside, I'm now ready to go ahead and drill them. We have two drills here, a 6mm and a 20mm. Well, I've just thought it's probably a better idea to use a 6.5, which is the hole size in that flange. Then I'll have a little bit of clearance. Just a question of where is my 6.5? There it is. One. Oh, fail. It's okay. These things happen. Well, they might be savable actually. Oh no. I think I need to clamp it both sides while I do the centre hole. I'll get another clamp. Try that again. Perfect. Just going to go for the one clamp in the middle for the 6.5. Beautiful. And there we have it. This one. Came out really good. Go ahead and run the rest of them through. nice little batch of them made up there. We can go ahead and fit one into that bike. So chuck that in. I've been wearing gloves this whole time because that graphite in that gasket material just gets everywhere. Makes a real mess. So you end up with black hands and black behind your ears and everything. It's like pencil lead, you know? What's in your pencil? Just check that bolt length. Check it's not too long. That's good. I'll put a couple of spring washers on here as well. Just because we don't want no exhaust bolts rattling loose. Those who know me know that I listen to music all day long, and since I've been doing these YouTube videos I've been having to stop the music because you know, obviously it's a copyright issue. It picks up on it in the background and it keeps alerting me that if I keep doing it I'm not going to be able to monetize off my videos, which would be a bit of a shame in the future. If I want to put ads and stuff on to try and gain some revenue for my time spent making the videos. From what I understand there is some free music that you can use, but it's a bit bloody awful and it's not what I want to be listening to all day, so you can add it in the editing process, but even that's a little bit temperamental because it will still ping it when it goes to upload it and say, hey, you don't have the rights to be using that. Okay, that looks real good. That's going to work. I can go ahead and tighten up those 2 bolts underneath. Oh, not going to be able to quite get that angle with the camera. Trying hard for you guys. I know. I'll put this on the ground looking up. How's that? So we're going to get those 2 bolts under there, which are the last 2 that hold the exhaust. They're slotted and they also hold the seat on. Got a 13mm ratcheting spanner, gear wrench of course, snug. Oh, that seat looks a lot better now. It's pulled it down nice and hard against the frame. That's what we want. Actually, I might be able to get that with that. Not quite. Not quite. My 3/8 ratchet handle though. That's better. Beautiful. I like it, guys. That's looking awesome. This thing's actually really coming together. Pretty much just the throttle and the brakes to run now. So I can fit them up top, run them down. See, I've got little cable tie brackets tacked onto the frame, so I can run them neatly through the frame on the inside. Epic. All buttoned up. It is, that's everything except the throttle and the brakes. Oh well, guys, this is taking shape. It's actually looking damn near done. Throttle's hooked up, brakes are on, exhaust is bolted up. I even made a little exhaust gasket there. So cool. Can't wait. I think tomorrow, if it's not raining, I'll be able to test ride this. See that brake line routing? I actually found I can bend these to a full 90 degrees, which is quite cool. Helped me out a lot here.